USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at USAA.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
Make your next vacation unforgettable on Royal Caribbean's newest ship, Star of the Seas. It's everything you've loved about every family vacation you've ever been on, with mind-blowing thrills at the largest water park at sea, 7 onboard pools for every level of chill, more than 40 ways to dine and drink, and even more to enjoy at our award-winning private island, Perfect Day at Coco Cay. This is the new Star of the Seas. Click or tap the banner to find out more.
1,
2,
3,
4.
Monster movie.
Fun time, go! Monster movie.
Fun time, go. Monster
Movie.
Fun time.
Go!
Monster movie. Fun time, go.
With Precious D and Honeybee.
Fun time, go!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors, welcome to Monster Movie Fun Time Go. I am one of your hosts, Precious D.
And I am the other one of your hosts, Honeybee.
Honeybee and I are two best friends making our way through the history of kaiju movies. We started in 1933 with King Kong. Right now we're in the year 2017, and we're looking at something that's it's kind of a kaiju movie. I decided to go ahead and do it.
It's kaiju-esque.
It's called The Ash Lad, in the Hall of the Mountain King. It's a Norwegian movie, so of course our monster is a troll. And well, it's like a co-production. It's Czech and Irish and and Norwegian. So it's in the language is Norwegian, but I think we saw it dubbed.
Yes, and I will say it was one of the best dubs I've ever seen.
It's 104 minutes in color. It says the box office was 4.23 million, but I don't see a budget.
Aww.
So
I was curious.
it probably didn't cost too much. So, Honeybee, what were your initial thoughts on The Ash Lad in the Hall of the Mountain King?
Well, I was kind of surprised at the quality of the movie. Like, I thought it was going to be worse than what it was.
Okay.
Just because it was a troll movie. Like, not because of, like, it's Norwegian or, like, the time frame. Just I was like, oh, man. You know? I was just, like, you know, thinking, you know, the, like, shitty... Okay, I wouldn't say shitty, but I just had a different idea in my brain. So I was kind of impressed by the quality of the movie and the comedy of the movie and really how good the dub was. You know, like all the voices really fit the characters so well. And I feel like sometimes they just don't, you know? But I felt like the voice actors for the English version were just, they did such a great job, I feel like, with the characters. So I really appreciated that. Because recently I saw a play here in the town I live in, and it was all in sign language. And there was like an interpreter, so the interpreter was doing the play in English, like she was just voicing. And there was this one character who was like a witch, and the interpreter kept doing this weird thing, like a sound, like, yeah. But the character wasn't doing anything to make you think she was doing that. Like, so it just really was really strange. So I just really appreciated how each voice really fit visually, what the character, you know, the character, I don't know.
Right. She felt the need to make witch noises.
Yes, it was driving me crazy. It was really taking me out.
This was the opposite. The opposite of
Yeah.
what you usually get, where
Yes.
it's voiced and there's one sign language interpreter. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was very interesting. It was great.
There's a sequel called Ash Lad 2 In Search of the Golden Castle. I don't think I'm going to watch it and see if we need to do it, but I don't think there's any.
Yeah, we should do it. We should do it for funsies.
Okay.
Just because we did this one, so we might as well.
This may not surprise you to know that this is based on a tradition of Ash Lad stories in Norway. I think they're kind of similar to the Jack stories in
Yes.
Cornwall, England. Are you at all familiar with Peer Gynt?
I don't think so.
It is a play by Heinrich Ibsen.
Okay.
That is loosely, I mean, it's the character's not called Ashlad, he's called Peer Gynt, but it's kind of based on or inspired by the Ashlad stories. But it is it's more well known for the incidental music that was written for the play by Edvard Grieg, in particular the piece called In the Hall of the Mountain King, which you've heard and which they used in this movie.
Oh.
So there you go. Do you know the music I'm talking about?
I want to say yes. Is it the... I want to say yes. I don't want to butcher it, but I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I know exactly what you're talking about.
It goes... Because they use it in a lot of... I've never seen Peer Gynt, but this tune has been used in lots of movies and things.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it has. Like...
It goes a do 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 do.
Yeah.
And then it gets faster and louder and builds to big crescendo.
I'm gonna be honest. When I was a child, this song scared the bejesus out of me.
It's meant to be unsettling, I think.
Yeah, it was in the movie. I think Mouse Hunt, when they're like chasing the mouse, and it when it's like gets to the really big like screeches like bum, 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 yeah, okay. That part used to scare the shit out of me when I was a kid. Like, I couldn't handle the feeling it put in my chest. And it took me a really long time to be okay with listening to it.
There's a Stephen King movie it's used in, and it just shows up. It shows up all over the place because it's just right for a certain kind of scene.
I had to look up, Ashlad, because the way that they use it in the movie, like sometimes I was like, does it mean like dumbass? Does it mean asshole? Like I really had to look it up. I had never heard it. So yeah, I'm glad that it doesn't mean dumbass or asshole.
Well, what did your research tell you?
So let me find it in my notes here. Okay, it means it's the underdog who triumphs against all odds, but can refer to someone who sits by the hearth and tends the fire, with ash covering their feet, making them appear to be wearing socks.
Yeah. So it's similar in origin to Cinderella. She was called Cinderella because she sat among the cinders. She had to, she's the one that had to clean up the ashes and stuff.
Yeah. It's just the way they use it in the movie. Like, you're like, ugh. Ashlad, and I was like, "Oh shit! What did you just call him?"
I mean, he does burn down a house, so
yeah,
in just the stupidest fucking way possible.
I know. That's why I thought it could mean dumbass.
yeah. I think it's in this particular case, he's the lad that just leaves nothing but ashes behind.
Aw, poor Espen.
So
he's the goofy fuck up. We love it.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the cast. God help me with these names. Vebjorn Enger as Espen Askeladd. Eli Harbo as Princess Kristen. Alan Hyde as Prince Frederick. Mads Sjogard Petersen as Per. Alice Holman Sorensen as Pal. Gisken Armand as Stubek Jeringa. Gard B. Eidsvold as King Eric. Synnøve Makodi Lund as Queen Victoria. Thorbjorn Har as Askeladden's father. Ida Ursen Holm as Holder. Rune Hagerup as Cato the Messenger, Arthur Bernig as Gunnar, Nasrin Khusrawi as Waitress, and Antonio de la Cruz as the guy from not around these parts as Vessel Jan. Okay, throw a little de la Cruz in there. Good for him. So there we go. So the plot, we've got a very short summary from Wikipedia, but Honeybee made notes, so maybe we can get more detail. Princess Kristen turns 18 and is obliged to be married. According to the legend, the wedding must happen at once. Otherwise, a gruesome troll will take her away to the mountain.
Let's really dive into this legend that's like, if the princess isn't married off while she's still a child, the troll will wake up. Oh, no.
They kept saying before she turns 18.
Yes, she has to be married off before she turns 18.
Right, but then it was scheduled for her 18th birthday, and I'm like, shouldn't you have scheduled it for the day before?
We're cutting it close.
Or is it like before she's done turning 18? I'm turning 18 all day long, as long as it's before sundown. That just that bugged me a little bit. Maybe it's a translation issue. I don't know. Let's see. So a troll will take her away if she's not married to the mountain. Prince Frederick arrives to wed Kristen, but she refuses him and runs away.
And we're gonna call Prince Frederick Lord Farquaad because he's like 5 foot nothing.
The king promises his daughter's hand and half the kingdom to whoever can save her. 3 poor farm boys, Per, Pal, and Espen, head out to find her and slay the Mountain King in order to claim the reward and save their farm from ruin. So yeah, that glossed over a lot. So
yeah,
that's really just back of the video box. So she meets
Espen.
Our boy Espen. Is it right after she runs away, or is she out fucking around before?
No, it's right after she runs away.
So she runs. She runs away. She runs away. Meets him. Of course, he doesn't realize she's a princess.
You know the later. Story, you guys.
Yeah, it's fairly similar to something else we watched recently, I think.
Yeah. But as soon as we meet Espen, we know that he's like that guy who, as soon as we meet him, my note was, oh, did we just meet the love of her life? The goofy fuck up? Like, ha ha ha, how cute. Because it's just it just happens, It's like a trope that we see. You know it as soon as you see him. And
it was Jack. It was Jack the Giant Slayer that with this same kind of thing. Princess is out fucking around and runs into Farm Boy, and they hit it off. And yeah, Prince Frederick is just a douche. He's an asshole. I don't think he's planning to marry and kill her or anything like that, but he's just kind of a jerk and nobody likes him.
He does say he threatens to kill her several times.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Yes, not to her face, but he keeps telling other people, he's like, she will never defy me or again, or I will rule alone. And I have no,
but it's not.
He several times says that he has no problem getting rid of her.
Yeah, but I don't think it was like his specific plan. Like, haha, I will take over the kingdom by.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No, he's just a jerk. So, for some reason, Espen is in the house by himself.
Okay, but wait, before we talk about this, we do get a moment with his family where he, we really establish that he's just such a fuck up. Like, he can't do shit right. And his family, are so over it and exacerbated by it. So at this point, when he's alone in the house, we already kind of know, we really get this sense of just how bad he fucks everything up. Because then
because we're dealing with a fairy tale, the main hero cannot have a complete set of parents. The princess does, but Espen only has a father. Mother, died in childbirth. I guess I don't think they go into detail.
No detail.
In medieval times, it's chances are quite high that you died in childbirth. So I'm just gonna go with that. So. He's plays sword fighting. He's pretending that he's going to fight a troll.
Yeah.
And while doing this, knocks over something or knocks something into the fire or whatever and just sets the whole house on fire. And everything he does to try and put it out just spreads the fire more, which I'm like, you live in this hut with this fire, just people at that time, had to deal with fire much more intimately than we usually do, and should be able to, just sit around the house without setting it on fire.
Yeah, but he can't do shit. That's what I'm saying, is the scene before this with his family. They're like, God, you are such a fuck up. And then he's like, oh, whoopsie, I burned the house down.
Yeah, it just makes it extra incompetent in that there's a fire there all the time. You know that. It's something you've got to deal with all the time, every day. And somehow it got out of your control. So Dad basically throws him out. I just can't fucking deal with you. But then when he finds out about the princess, he's going to get the reward so they can rebuild their farm. And the two brothers also go off, and they end up, the brothers aren't quite as mad at him as Dad is.
Well, so what happens is the brothers, so they're like, they have no house, they have nothing, because old Ashlad burned it to the ground. And the dad's like, get out of here. You're banned from this family. And, like, everyone's pissed off at him. So he tells the brothers are going to go get the, reward money. And Espen follows them. And the brothers they just kind of like, oh, yeah, all right. Like, you can come. They don't really, it's kind of unspoken.
Yeah.
But the dad doesn't even know that he's, like, following the brothers.
Right.
But he's like, get the fuck out.
He keeps finding shit. He finds... But I don't remember him actually using all of it. Does he use all of it?
He does. He uses all of it.
So, yeah, he finds Chekhov's mirror and Chekhov's ball of twine and just, numerous...
Chekhov's
and they're like, what
bear skin.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like, well, I remember him using the bear skin. But they're like, what are you doing? He's like, you never know. It might come in handy. I'm like, but it's a story, so of course it's going to come in handy.
Yeah, I love it. I love that he's just like picking up shit.
And at one point they go into a tavern in whatever to get a little something to eat and run into
we got to talk about
Prince
before
Asshole.
the tavern. We got to talk about before the tavern, because while they're walking along the road and he finds the mirror, he hears this like very Labyrinth, like the Labyrinth movie voice, like, help me, hello, help me. And he goes and it's this like old witchy log woman, and she gives him a secret map, or like a magic... No, she doesn't give it to him. She just gives him the directions, I think, to get the map. I don't really remember, but we meet this like really weird witchy log woman whose nose is like stuck in a tree stump.
Yeah, he's like, hold on, I'll cut it off. And she's like, no, that's my nose. Just
don't cut off my nose.
Pry it loose.
Yeah. And so when they leave the old witchy woman, then the brothers run into this basket of golden apples. They've somehow split off. And the brothers run into this basket of golden apples, and they're like starving because they've, one brother even says like, oh, the other day I was complaining about porridge, but now I'd cut my left foot off for a spoonful of porridge. And then they find this basket of golden apples, and they're like, well, we'll just have one apiece. And then the next like moment, the basket is empty and they've eaten all of these golden apples. And then these like beautiful women come out, these like forest nymphs, and they're like, hee, come with us and you can eat all of this stuff. And I literally wrote the note down. Okay, got it. Note to self, find a basket of golden apples, eat them immediately. And then the scene kept going, and I love this scene so much. It's one of my favorites of the movie. But they're, eating these just bowls of strawberries and meats. Like there's like a little smoked pig and like all of this shit. And Ashlad like catches up to them from meeting with the old witchy log woman, and he eats an apple, and then he sits at the table, but he's only had like one, so it's kind of wearing off of him, like he's not as high. And they're like these nasty witches.
Yeah, I think it's funny that people in these stories have never read any of these stories. Unlike people in horror movies who've seen all the horror movies, because as soon as a beautiful woman just in the forest for no reason,
three like, beautiful women in the forest.
Three. Well, three is also a red flag, but they're like, oh, come with us, come. Oh, like this is clearly fairy shit. Don't don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't go with them. Don't trust them. They're up to no good. No 3 women in the wilderness, whether it's the forest or an island at sea or a desert. No 3 women in a situation like this have ever been up to any good.
Yes, and so they, turn into these witches, and they're eating maggots and snails and like rats and shit. And so he kind of plays along to get his brothers out there, and he's like, come on brothers, let's go. And the girls are like, stay here forever, we're gonna marry you, we're gonna make you more sweet meats. And then they, he slaps his brothers out of it. They start running. The witches are like, no, we're gonna get married, marry me. And then like tries to kill them. They get away, and then they go to the tavern where they run into Prince Farquaad or Lord Farquaad or whatever. This part is funny too, because he's like drinking a glass of wine, and he like smells the wine, and he's like, why does this wine smell like fresh fart? And he's like smelling it, and he's like, and the gonads from a bull. Takes a huge drink, spits it on the ground. He's like, but mostly fart. I was cry laughing. I rewound this part. This is the funny. I mean, it's not that funny, but it was so hysterical. Like, who says that? Oh my god, I was cry laughing. So funny. So, anyways, yeah, okay, we're in the tavern now.
Yeah, and I think he's gotten the map at this point, because then he ends up getting taken from him. Mm-hmm. So the prince is in there just being a dick, and it comes out that they're all looking for the same thing. They're all trying to find the princess, and I don't remember how he finds out, but he finds out they've got a map, and he just sort of
one of his little like henchmen see Espen looking at it, and him and his brothers talking about it. He sees it, recognizes them from earlier in the movie when they were all going out to find the princess or whatever, and goes back and tells
Frederick.
Lord Douchebag, and so he's like, you won't believe what I just saw, and then he goes and confronts him. But also, what I found funny about this scene, because they order like ham and porridge and all this shit at this like little tavern, I'm like, so we're all just not going to talk about how we were all eating like rats and maggots like 15 minutes ago? Like, we're just now at a tavern eating porridge like it's completely normal?
Yep. Don't ever mention those 3 ladies again.
On WhatsApp, no one can see or hear your personal messages. Whether it's a voice call, message, or sending a password. To WhatsApp, it's all just this. So whether you're sharing the streaming password in the family chat or trading those late-night voice messages that could basically become a podcast, your personal messages stay between you, your friends, and your family. No one else. Not even us. WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone.
Versed is guys wear that guys wear. The modern man's clothing brand that makes you feel good to be a guy. Whether you're dropping controversial hot takes in the group chat or trying not to pull a hammy in a pickup game, Versed keeps you cool and comfortable in any situation. That's VRST. Versed. Shop guys wear now only at Dick's.
So yeah, there's a bit of a fight, but I think in the end they lose the map. And what happens after that?
After that, about 53 minutes and 20 seconds into the movie, we see our kaiju, and we get to see the princess. And what I really like about this movie is that there is a whole like damsel in distress, but we're not like focused on that as the audience. We're more focused on the brothers and the other things happening, and I really appreciate that about this movie, that the princess was in it like just enough, to like remind us what we're doing, why we're going on this journey, but not enough to like, I don't know, but just, it was just enough. It was perfect. I liked the focus of the movie, that it was like mostly on the other things going outside, not just on the princess and the troll, even though the moments with the princess and the troll were like funny and they're good and none of them make sense. But so we get to see the troll.
He's just keeping her in a cave,
feeding her raw meats.
Yes, yeah.
With some goats.
Big old chunk. Like a whole
and
leg
then
of something.
Yeah, she makes a weapon and pokes his finger, and she's like, I will marry you, but I need a wedding dress first. And without a wedding dress, there will be no wedding. And I'm like, okay, well, if you can just make demands like this, like, why can't you just demand to leave? Like, I understand that she's trying to, like, buy some time, but I was like, okay, wow, interesting that the troll is just like, okay, you're right. Like, sure, I'll just go get you a wedding dress. And where the fuck is he gonna find a wedding dress? Where is this motherfucker, this huge ass troll, get a wedding? What does he like crochet on the weekends? Like, what? Where is he gonna get this tiny? Where does the tiny wedding dress come from? I have to know. It really annoyed me.
Does he give her one? I don't remember.
Yes, he gets one. We see it later. I was so annoyed. And it's a really beautiful dress too. I was like, where the fuck did he get that?
So yeah, we kept back to her every now and then while this shit's going on. God, what does he use the bear? He scares somebody with a bear. Is it Frederick and his clowns?
Yeah, he's trying to get his brothers back.
Yeah.
Because what happens is, like, after the bar fight, Frederick and his, like, henchmen, I guess, are, like, following them, and they jump off this cliff into a lake. And when Frederick catches up with them, Ashlad has been separated from them, so they lie to Frederick and tell him that he's dead, but he's not. And so then, he tries to, rescue his brothers pretending to be the bearskin, which is funny because at the beginning of the movie, when we first meet Frederick, he's telling this story about how he killed a bear with his bare hands.
Yeah.
And obviously he did not.
Yes, this is true. So that I watched this like weeks ago, so I can barely remember what all happened. So
that's okay.
You're gonna have to guide us.
Okay, did you already finish the summary?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh my gosh, damn, that sucks. Okay, so then
it was really just a setup.
I see. So then Ashlad goes and he gets this sword that the witch lady earlier in the movie told him that he had. It was the only sword that could, I don't know, save the princess or whatever. So he's in this lake, and there's this like tree lake monster, which was so cool. I don't know if it was big enough to be a kaiju. It was just a tree, but it was still fucking cool. He gets the sword, and then it's really funny because his brothers are with Frederick and the henchmen, and they try to escape, or at least one of them does. Pears decides to escape, but he's still tied up. So he like tells this guy, come here, I need to tell you something, but my throat hurts, I'm gonna whisper it to you. And when the guy gets close, he like throws some dirt in his face and then jumps on the horse like with his belly. So he's sitting on the saddle completely over the horse on his belly and like trying to make the horse go, but the horse won't go. Oh man, it was so funny. Let's see. Where are we? Oh, and then he tells Gunnar, he's like, we're about to go. Does anyone have to pee? Gunnar, do you have to pee? And he's like, no, I don't have to pee. And he's like, are you going to stop us in 5 minutes because you have to pee? And he's like, yeah. He's like, well, then go. And then Gunnar goes to pee. And I'm like, God damn, Gunnar, you didn't think you had to pee? Like, it is a long pee. And then the bear thing happens. Let's see. Yeah, this is when Frederick, threatens basically to kill her. He's like, if she defies me again, I don't mind ruling alone. Like, okay. Fucking weirdo. And then they basically are all traveling together once the bear thing happens because they obviously catch Ashlad. So all of them are going to save the princess. They now have the map. They now have the sword. They're all going together. This is when the music happens.
Yes.
Because the plan is that trolls can't, for some reason, see sunlight. They will, die, turn to stone. So the plan is if we go now, and we catch the troll while he's we'll get there by morning, and we'll catch the troll while he's asleep, and then we just have to slit his throat, and then we don't have to do the dirty work. So we're going to travel by night while he's out hunting, so that when he's asleep we can kill him, except for the troll ends up hunting them. So this turns out to be not the best idea, but this is when the music comes in, the bum 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 bum. When they they hear the troll and they're like running from the troll. And at one point the troll laughs, like the troll is laughing when he like pulls a tree out of the ground. Oh, I loved that. That was such a good part because it's it's so good. So yeah, we have some really good action going on here. There's not a lot of kaiju in this movie. It is just the troll, but like there is some good. I really did enjoy the parts with the troll and the parts without. But then we have this little brother pep talk where Espen's brother is like, you know what? You've been a fuck up your whole life, and I'm sorry that in my world you're a fuck up, but this is your world. You saved us from this. You saved us from this. You saved us from this. Like, this is your world out here. You've picked up the rope and the bear skin and yada yada yada. And they had this really nice brother pep talk that was just lovely. One of the brothers, however, had gotten taken by the troll during the so he is with the princess, and he's like, hey, I'm here to save you. And she's like, oh, who are you? He's like, Espen. She's like, Espen? I know Espen. Did he talk about me? And he's like, well, he said you sucked at riding a horse. And she's like, okay. So that's awkward. Then, what's his face? The prince, Frederick, he gets captured by the troll also. And they save his ass. Not entirely, he fucks it up for himself, but I was like, oh, good for them. Because honestly, they could have left his ass there and no one would have blamed them. I really was hoping that he would die in the movie at some point. I was like, come on, someone eat this bastard. Like, where are all the trolls? But, no. But they end up saving him when they get out, and that was really cool. I really loved that. And yeah, and then we see this fucking wedding dress, where she's, like, asking for... Because he's, like... She's untying or, like, helping Frederick, and he's like, I can't believe you're treating me like this. No one would treat me this way. And she's like, do you want me to leave you, or do you want to stay? Like, or do you want to go with us? And he's like, yeah, all right, I'll shut the fuck up. And then as they're escaping, we see this beautiful wedding dress, like, on, like, a little, like a... It's, like, standing up, like, on a mannequin, Like,
yeah. Uh-huh.
Like, where did this come... Like, how? He had to have made it, right?
It's very shit.
He had to have made it. It's very shit. It has to, yeah, it's definitely very shit. So then, like, Espen's like, all right, I'm gonna save us. And his brother's like, wait, don't be stupid, are you sure? And he turns around and he's like, this is my world. And, like, the whole pep talk, like, we go full circle. And I was like, fuck yeah. Oh, and the troll has a tail. Is that normal?
I'm not sure.
I love a good tail, okay? But I just didn't know trolls had tails. Like, I was like, fuck yeah. It's really cool. And then we use the bear skin, and then we use the twine to shimmy people down into the troll hole. And now we get to see the mirror. He holds the mirror up because they escape, and he's waking up. But it's like, almost the sun's up, but not quite yet, so it's not dark out, but it's not light out, and they're like, hurry! The princess is like, hurry! If we run up this mountain, we'll be closer to the sun! And everyone's like, good idea, princess! And then they run, they're like trying to climb up this mountain while they're running from the troll, and the sun's coming, and the troll is coming, and he lifts the mirror, and like the sun reflects off the mirror, and like gets the troll in the eyes, but also kind of starts sizzling him, like,
right.
And then he turns to stone, and of course, Pear, who had somehow died in the middle of the troll thing, which I don't know if he got hit by something, or I think the troll, like, knocked him into something or something. But of course, once the troll turns to stone, he magically wakes up, and the movie is about these, like, 3 brothers that did the thing, and the princess, woo! And then we see what's-his-face, and I'm like, this loser is still alive? Like, why? No. But the good news is he runs into old log witchy lady. But we don't get to see, she just said, he runs into, like, Frederick runs into the log witchy lady, and he's like, hey, you, which way is the castle? And she points the opposite direction, and she's like, that way. And he's like, thank you. God, you're so ugly, but thank you. And she's like, what an idiot. And then we get to the castle with mom and dad and the princess. and they have a very asthmatic messenger, which I thought was really strange, but I was not prepared for the way they were going to make fun of him, because he's not that big or anything. Like, he's kind of an average sized dude, but they're like, God, you are so out of shape. How are you a messenger? And I was like, geez, I think he maybe just has asthma. Good Lord. At one point, the king is like, go for a run. Like, just screaming at this poor man. But they come back, and the princess is like, Mother, Father, and they're like, oh, my darling, I thought you were dead. You can marry whoever you want, whenever you want. And we were all like, yay, good job, king. Way to let your daughter make her own decisions. And then, oh, man, and then we get to see the boys go back, Espen, Pear, and... Yeah. What is the other one's name?
Paul, I think.
Paul, that's right, yes. We get to see them go back to their dad, and I don't know how I didn't realize at the beginning of the movie that the dad was fine, but I did notice at the end of the movie, and I was like, dang, okay, Dad, I didn't realize Dad is actually Daddy. I was like, he's kind of fine. I didn't even know. How did I not realize that in the beginning of the movie? But then they're like, he's like, how did you do it? This is enough money to save our farm. And they're like, we didn't do it, Dad. Ashlad did it. And he's like, no, we're not going to call him that. That name is a burden. Now he's a man and he's saved us. And he's like, but I like the name, Daddy. I'm used to it now. And he's like, well, all right, you little fuck, Ashlad it is. And then the princess, they're like rebuilding their house, and the princess comes riding up on the horse to like look at everyone and smile. I'm like, okay, what are you doing here? Say something. So finally, she rides off with Ashlad in the disc. They're riding the horse, and he's like, dang, you still don't know how to ride this fucking horse? And she's like, do you want to come with me or not? And he's like, fine. And then it starts to go to the credits, but then boom, we get this kind of cutscene, and we see what's his fucks, Frederick find the nymphs, and he's like, haha, yay, I've made it. He's so excited, and we all know that he's just gonna go eat maggots and rats.
Yeah.
And be surrounded by these horrible witches, and it's a wonderful ending.
Now, I think there was another thing, though, where he's like, you rescue the princess, so you get to marry her and get half the kingdom or whatever. And he was like, no, I just want enough to rebuild my farm.
Yeah, he's like, I just want to save my daddy's land.
Yeah. So, I guess good for him, but also, what's wrong with you? So, but it looks like he's probably going to end up with the princess anyway. I mean, I guess we'll find out for sure in the next movie.
Yeah.
They're still
okay, so my question for you, though, is what did you like better between this and Jack the Giant Slayer?
I think kind of in a way I might have liked this one better in that, I mean, I'm not familiar with the Ashlad stories directly, but this just seemed more authentic. It wasn't so Hollywood and so overblown.
Yeah.
And because that Jack the Giant Slayer was just too much. Just all these fucking giants and the misuse of fee-fi-fo-fum and just, it was too much.
Yeah, I thought this one was better for sure.
An appropriate level for something that's based on folk tales and fairy tales. This seemed like a more appropriate level of movie than that just crazy nonsense that was going on in Jack the Giant Slayer. So.
Yeah, I agree. I thought this one was better.
So, folks, if you haven't watched it yet, now that we've spoiled it all for you, it is on Peacock and Prime and Tubi and Plex and Freebie. Well, Freebie's actually like part of Prime, so they're the same thing, really. Now, I recommend Peacock if you have it, because they will often show you a bunch of ads at the beginning and then leave you alone and not keep interrupting you.
Yeah, that's so smart. I love that.
Yeah. And even if you pause it and go away and come back later, it won't make you watch more ads. So, Honeybee, what are you going to rate Ashlad in the Hall of the Mountain King?
I'm going to give it 4 stars. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. I'll give it 4 too. I might have given it 3 originally, but I'll go with you and I'll give it a 4. Let's see. Let me get my list here. Oh, I think I know what it is. Next week is another Godzilla, right? It's another animated Netflix one.
Oh, is it? I have not looked at the list.
Yeah. On our list, I have them switched. It's Godzilla City on the Edge of Battle.
Hell yeah.
So, that's on Netflix, folks, if you want to watch that one. And only on Netflix. I don't think you can even buy it. You can't even buy I don't think you can buy a physical copy like in this country. I think there's one that was released in Japan, but if you buy it on Amazon, it probably won't play in your Region 1 player, so
damn.
Don't do it. Yeah. So there you go, folks. That's Ashlad. We'll be here next week with Godzilla City on the Edge of Battle. Thanks for joining us. Please like and subscribe and rate and review. And remember that Kaiju Go is coming up soon.
Yay!
Also, Superman opens next week, which has a kaiju in it called the Kaiju.
Oh.
That's what the toys are. The toys are labeled Kaiju. Trademark. Like, you can't trademark that. Shut up. And so I'm going to go see it, I think, Thursday right after work. Like, immediately after work. So I might have something to say about that. Yeah, we can. Yeah, we normally record on Thursday, but we're going to have to adjust our schedule next week, Honeybee, so because I got to see some fucking Superman.
Hell yeah.
So, all right, that's going to do it for this week, folks. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, I have been Precious D.
And I have been Honey B.
Remember to keep calm and take shelter in basements.
And please, don't misuse science.
We won't see you, but you will hear us next time on Monster Movie Fun Time Go. You've been listening to Monster Movie Fun Time Go. If you enjoyed the show, please consider rating and reviewing us on your podcasting platform of choice. You can leave us a message and find links to all our things at mmftg.com.